What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Shelby lifestyle. The Super Snake is finally back here in SoCal, and man, it feels a bit more powerful to me. I don't know why. It could just be because it's been gone for so long, but comparing this to the GT350R, guys, they feel so different. It's just crazy. We got a comp right there. Gotta watch out because there's a new California exhaust law out, guys. So my question is to you guys, do you think if a cop pulls me over, he'll have me change the exhaust? Because this car is technically stock from Shelby American. So I wonder how that would turn out. I wonder what they'd say. That would make for some funny videos. Thank you. See, this car, it's so crazy to drive. It's just so raw. That's one way to put it. And that's another thing, guys. Once you get to around 4,000 RPMs, you notice that the entire exhaust pitch completely changes. And also, once you get to 4,000 RPMs, or any RPM really, and I let off, you'll hear tons of pops. Even when I downshift, you'll hear tons of pops, and it's almost like it never ends, especially when I go downhill. It just keeps popping and popping and popping. Some of you guys don't like the pops. I understand that. It's definitely for certain people, but to me, I absolutely love it. There you go. And it just keeps going and going and going and going. So that is one unique thing about this car, and no other Super Snake actually has this tune. Just sitting in here, guys, I've never really pointed this out before, but you do notice that the interior, it's not as good as the GT350s is, for example, but really, I don't even care about that. All I care about is what it's like to drive. And there it goes with the pops. Comparing this to the 2020 GT500, I think the new GT500 is going to be a phenomenal car. I know I have made my point regarding the fact that it's an automatic versus a manual and how I prefer the manual, but I do think the new GT500 is going to blow our minds away. It's going to be a great car, and I honestly can't wait to compare it to this car. I am a real fan of the new car, and I can't wait till we get to hear the real numbers of the vehicle and see what it's like to drive on the road course and even on the drag strip. But just thinking about both cars, they are just so different. This car is much more raw. The new 2020 500, it's got like a road course appeal to it. So it is very interesting how they've took the GT500 from here on out. Because I remember the GT500 being the hardcore straight line car that throws you back in your seat. I actually took off the Mickey Thompson tires. I'm saving them for the drag strip, but with these normal Super Sports, they just spin so much. It's so much fun to drive it. Yeah, if you do want to hook, I can just switch the tires whenever I want, but when I do want to do some shenanigans and shred the back tires, all I gotta do is apply a little bit more throttle and the entire car just throws you back in your seat. This car does have the whole shot package, so when I'm roasting the tires and I'm launching, the entire vehicle just stays completely straight. I don't feel like I'm gonna lose control whatsoever. It's built exactly to my liking. It's always funny looking down and saying that 220 mile/hour top speed on the Speedo. That's just crazy to me. This car probably can't hit that because of the aerodynamics, but I bet if I close the hood scoop and the side scoops, I think top speed would be pretty dang high. Another thing I just love about this car is that you have these 3 gauges right here on the side, the 8-pillar gauges, and they look so cool once you apply throttle. You guys are gonna see that right now. And if you guys look back at the dyno sheet, we have max torque at about like 3,000 RPMs. So anytime you put full throttle on this car, you are gonna be thrown back in your seat. I honestly cannot wait to see what this car can do at the drag strip. I think this car will certainly be a lot faster than the new 2020 GT500. That's just a given. It's got way more horsepower. but I do think the new 2020 GT500 will be a great car to have alongside this one. One other thing, guys, is that you always have to drive this car with traction control turned off and advanced track turned off, which is like the second layer of traction control. And that's because whenever you take off from a stop sign or red light, it wants to cut power on you. So all I have to do is turn off traction control and the car drives normally just fine. But so that is one thing you just have to get used to when you first get inside this car. What? As you guys can see, I'm not going full throttle, not even close to full throttle, and it's just so fast. It's not safe for the street at all. You really have to be mindful of what's around you, and that's why I can't wait to take this car to like an airstrip almost, and even the quarter-mile drag strip. I really want to see what this car can do, because the acceleration, it's mind-blowing. It puts butterflies in your stomach. This car is honestly the craziest car I have ever driven. Even comparing it to the McLaren, it just, something about this car, I'm always at the edge of my seat. I always feel like this car definitely has a soul, and just the entire vehicle is like a monster. It's just got personality, and it's all off 91 pump octane again, so I can drive this on the street all day long, go to the gas station, pay your normal $4 or so for gas. I think there's a ZL1 behind me, an orange one. Yep. Cool. It's always nice seeing all the Hellcats and the ZL1s driving around. All of them are just great cars. Really, you can't go wrong with any of them. And it's still going, and it's still going. Man, that's just crazy. The one thing I did notice with the new GT500 hood, it kind of goes inwards in the front like the R does, but then it bulges right here in the middle. It's very different than the 500 Super Snake like this car, because it's more of a rounded middle. You know what, guys, let's do a few more pulls, because it's just so exhilarating. It's like pure adrenaline. Let's go ahead and check how much miles per gallon I get, guys. So let's see, 10.7. Actually, that's only 4 less than the GT350R. That's actually pretty good, guys. There's 2 different words I can use to describe this car, guys. The first one is mechanical, and the second one is just raw. And then, guys, when I downshift, wow, just pops away. The clutch in this car is a lot heavier than the GT350R. In the R, it feels super light, and it also feels a bit clingy. In this car, if you do get stuck in traffic, your left leg is gonna start to hurt over time. It's gonna strain over time. But the GT500s have always sort of had a heavier clutch than compared to the GT350s. In my honest opinion, guys, when I drive this car and I shift gears, I'm not exactly worried about that shift speed. Yes, if I go to the drag strip or if I go to the half-mile runway, I would be worried about it. But driving this car, and even speed shifting, it's not that long of a shift that I'd be super stressed out about it. With the DCT, yes, you get that less than 100 millisecond shift. But to me, I'm not that concerned about that. I like shifting myself. I like using the clutch because it adds another layer of connection between me and the car. It's something that makes this car feel mechanical, like I said earlier, and just raw, because I'm in control of absolutely everything. And also with that DCT, you get an electronic parking brake, which who exactly wants that? In this car, I can pull up the handbrake whenever I want and have the car engage in a bit of a slide. Same with the GT350R. It's not like you'd ever do it on like a daily basis, but the knowledge of you being able to do so with that piece of equipment is exciting. With all this modern technology being put in these new vehicles, it brings in a lot of nannies. And what I mean by that is that rotary dial shift selector and that electronic parking brake, you really don't have to think much about them. You just get in the car, switch it to drive, and go. Or you go to park, just hit the button down, it goes in the park. And also, I bet if you put the car in park and open the door, it'll engage the parking brake. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to comment down below what you think. What do you guys think about the GT500 Super Snake? I haven't done a pop video like this in a long time with this car, and driving it, you guys can see just how adrenaline-packed this car is. It's like a full-on roller coaster, but like unhinged. It's just crazy. So please let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Subscribe for much more Shelby content, guys. We do everything Shelby Mustang related on this channel. And while you do that, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Thanks again, guys. Smash that like button. It really does help me out. And I'll see all of you in the next video.